Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another book mining video. I'm Giant and today I'm back with another Agatha Christie Poirot case review. Another one of her Agatha Christie's Poirot titles today again. I have done the Carbon Mystery and Miss Marple case and the Murder of Roger Ackroyd in my two previous videos of Agatha Christie reviews, so make sure you check those out because they will turn out super amazing. And I hope that this review will also help you, get the right Agatha Christie book. So today I'm firstly going to tell you like a bit of a overview of the story, then I'm going to tell you what are its pros and cons if it has any, and then finally I conclude it with a recommendation or whether I recommend it or not, and then I'll give it a score out of a 10. So the title that I'm reviewing today is Agatha Christie's Death on the Nile. This book is a porcus, as it suggests, and of course is set on the Nile, as the title suggests. The Nile, the biggest river in Egypt, is the setting of this book. So the book is actually set in Egypt on a steamer called the Karnak on the Nile. So before we get on to those matters, let me just give you a bit of an overview of what are the main characters in the story and what's exactly a bit of a backstory, So the book actually begins with an introduction to every single character, but some main ones that I like to give out over here are Lynette Doyle, then there's Simon Doyle, and then there's Jacqueline de Belfort, or Jackie as she's called in the story. So Lynette is actually a very wealthy person and is a friend of Jacqueline, and then Simon and Jacqueline are kind of already engaged or something, but then all of a sudden what happens is that Simon marries Lynette, and then Jackie is kind of feeling betrayed by her best friend, and what she tries to do is that on Simon and Lynette's honeymoon, she's stalking them down, making life miserable for them, and she's actually carrying a revolver with her, which is pretty nice and, adds spice to the story over there. But she's carrying a revolver with her all the way she goes, and it's always not doing anything. She's totally mono over there, and it's just stalking them silently, which is getting very annoying for Lynette. You can also imagine if a person's stalking you 24/7, wherever you go, it's gonna get pretty damn eerie and weird, Yeah. So Jacqueline is out to make Simon and Lynette's life miserable as they're on their honeymoon, and when they come across in Egypt, they finally try to escape from Jackie by getting on board a steamer, because once they get on the steamer, there's no way that Jackie can get on the steamer, because of course she's not gonna swim out the steamer and then jump in or something like that. But then Jacqueline is twice as smarter as her, as Lynette and Simon, and she actually managed to get on the steamer with, of course, Poirot on board and everything. So Lynette and Simon actually consulted Poirot previously to actually get Jackie off the trail, but then Jackie was all dead set no, what do you mean? And she's all very cool and mystery vibes and everything, and she's not getting off both of her scents, and then she finally comes on board the steamer. Just when Simon and Lynn kind of celebrate getting away from Jackie, she just walks up very casually, just oh, hi Lynette, is that you again? That's such a coincidence. Okay, so yeah. And then they're actually trapped with her for this 2-week long journey from the second cataract to the first cataract over the Nile on the Karnak. Now, this is basically the characters of them, the three main characters. There's a lot of characters as well in the story, but I'm not going to tell you that right now. You read that on your own, because it's going to be, a long video for telling you every single character. Let me just name some of those. There's of course Salome Otterboon, there's Rosalie Otterboon, then there's Tim Alton, and a lot of people. Okay, so now what actually happens in the story is that of course there's on the Nile. Yes, the death on the Nile, and Lynette is actually murdered. So the first suspicion is obviously falling with Simon, because Jacqueline is definitely got Jacqueline, sorry, not on Simon, but on Jacqueline. So Jacqueline of course has got a motive, and she's carrying a revolver with her, so, and she's shot Lynette is shot with a revolver that's found out in her head. So suspicion actually is thrown on Jacqueline and a bit on Simon as well, because he's to benefit from Lynette's death, because she's a millionaire and money is going to go to her husband. But then all of the the thing is that there was a series of events that occurred on the same day when Lynette was murdered, the same night when Lynette was murdered, which actually like puts Jacqueline and Simon in totally clear because they had pretty good alibis from like every single person. So Hercule is actually trying to go through all of the things step by step, and his like old method by using his gray brain cells, and he's trying to figure out actually who's the murderer over here. Now there's also a series of death which is occurring in this one, which is actually pretty, like, death is not a good thing, but it's actually murder mystery which I was trying. I kind of like it spices up the story because it's death on the Nile. It's not one death, there's multiple deaths, but I'm not going to tell you how many because that's only kind of like a teaser kind of thing. So yeah, there's a lot of death which are occurring, and they of course have a relation between Lynette and Lynette's dead, but then Hercule definitely is going to find out like all of those stuff, and it's very nice to see Hercule work with this thing because every single person to the end, like Hercule finds out, is that has a motive to murder Lynette Doyle, and it's pretty confusing to you and your little grey cells that who actually murdered, because there's always revelations over here, and as I told you, in the end there's like Hercule is actually coming to the conclusion that almost every single person on board the Karnak has got a motive to murder Lynette Doyle. There's another thing which is to the story, that is that Lynette's precious diamonds which she was carrying with her are actually stolen, and she's also murdered. There's also one more probability to this case, that it may be a theft which happened and the murderer actually murdered Lynette because she caught him red-handed. Now that's actually playing, that's doing lots of probabilities and like getting lots of probabilities, and it's making things very, very complex, and Hercule's getting kind of stressed out over here because he really wants to figure out the murderer, because it's very nice, I think, because of course Hercule is very prides himself on getting down to the bottom of every single mystery. Now, another thing which I like about the story is that the setting actually credits the story a lot. It's set on both the Karnak, and it's beautiful, 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 setting over here in the Egypt on the water, and this is actually a murder among us by Agatha Christie, because once it's like just the Karnak. People in the Karnak who murdered Lynette. So it's very nice to read this because I actually love, Murder Among Us, because it's like so eerie sometimes, and that mystery murder kind of vibes going on over there, because you actually like when you just put characters towards your imagined characters, you just get point. You could actually say that one of these guys actually murdered Lynette. It's not like anybody XYZ out of nowhere, murdered anybody. So you can actually relate to the solution, and it's very nice when you can actually relate to solutions, and it's very bad, I think, when you cannot relate to solutions. So the solution, now that we are talking lots of solutions over here, is very good. I love the solution actually. And I think that Agatha did a very good job with this story. Although it's very thick, it's like 300 plus pages, something like that. But I think it's totally worth reading this because it's just a beautiful, beautiful story by her. I think one of her best works, not my all-time favorite, but it's definitely on my list on my most best reads over here, because I loved this book, and also the cover page because it's beautiful. Just look at it, right. So I loved it actually. It's a beautiful story by her, and I'd say that I highly recommend getting this book because you will not be disappointed by this book. It's a beautiful story by her, and the solution is like a totally oh my god factor, and you cannot guess till then. I'm telling you, unless of course you're Hercule Poirot himself or smarter than Hercule. It's a very good one, and you really get that oh my god factor, and the solution is totally based on facts, and you can actually relate to it because you have a very concise, cozy kind of environment. So it's really that kind of like cozy murder mystery. Well, the murder is not cozy, but it's really one that you can actually cuddle up and like read, and you'll actually love it. So now, wrapping up this video, I highly recommend getting this book. Definitely get it, okay? It's a beautiful one from Agatha. And out of a 10, I'll give it a solid 9 because this book is totally deserving a 9 out of 10. And that will be it for today's video. I hope this review can help you buy your next Agatha Christie. Until the next video, goodbye. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share if you like this video.